the stakeholders. Be mindful of the time as well. Stakeholders own the business, ladies and gentlemen. They do own the business. Be mindful of the time. Move your reviews as much as you can. Don't be stuck up. Oh, they cannot come for my review. That's it. We don't have anything to demo again to them. Ask them, hey, when is a good time to schedule a review? Build smaller reviews, have frequent engagement and constant collaboration with the stakeholders, and then you can also review to them. You don't have to get stuck on, oh, it's every other Wednesday is our sprint review, and that's when we'll demo the product. If the developers are fine in having more frequent short circuit meeting or cycle meeting with the stakeholders, go ahead and have those with them as well. Ability to build prototypes, which allows you to make informed decisions from it. So tell the stakeholders that, hey, we do have the abilities to build prototypes. Your development team must have the ability to build prototypes. So when they say that, oh, I don't know what I want, oh, but I know what I don't know what I want, tell them that you will go ahead, the team will go ahead and build prototypes for them to react to it. All right. So I remember we're working on an intake process. Actually, we're working on it's called the call center demand team, call center demand management system. And essentially, they just needed something to automate the process they were currently working, and the process was dragging. I think it was like a 5 hours lag for them to pull some certain kind of data from a source. And they asked us to kind of speed up the process. One of the easiest thing to do was just to put some plugs plug on Excel, and that would enable them pull those data from it. But the more permanent role will also build out build out something from Alteryx, and that will enable them just automate the whole process, like they're able to retrieve those data fast. What we did, the stakeholders asked us to just put up the plugins on Excel, and that would be all. But we did that, but we also built out, one thing I encouraged the development team was to put out a spike and said, can we research on what it takes for us to build out this process on Alteryx that will totally eradicate this problem for our stakeholders? And then we put out the spike, and the next sprint, we built out a prototype. And then when we're demoing the Excel with the plugin on it, we demoed the prototype, and our stakeholders were blown out. They were like, my goodness, we have never seen this before. So we allowed, essentially what we did there was to build out a prototype and allowed our stakeholders to be creative. I talk about Scrum teams being order takers. We have to step out from being order takers, waiting for our stakeholders to give us requirement to do the right thing. We should be able to get ahead of the stakeholders and build our prototypes for them to react with. That is when we become insightful. That's when we become creative. That's when Scrum teams become innovative. We must also have the ability to be flexible, to have a crash sprint planning, to absorb prioritized user stories. So I know we talked about having the right framework. Sometimes when you have the right framework, you also have to have the ability to be flexible. Flexibility is crucial in Agile, ladies and gentlemen. It is super crucial in Agile to be flexible, to understand that stakeholders may come to you during the sprint and give you a more high priority work. Recently, we had a reorganization in my company, and one of the many acts from our new CEO was to do some kind of data modeling. And we had really fantastic working on a project, and we're many months on almost completion. But we had to kind of temporarily put the work on hold and focus on what is more important, handed down to us from the CEO, because it was crucial in the reorganization that's going on with the company. So that is us being flexible. That is us putting side by side and asking ourselves, what is the highest value to our stakeholders? What is that one thing that our stakeholders want to see that makes sense to them? Kano prioritization is great. Whether short job first is great. But one thing I like to ask our product owners to say is, what is that one thing that will create a delightsome experience for the customer, the business, the stakeholders? When you identify that, go for it. Keep an eye on sprint disruption, all right, which can derail the team from reaching the committed sprint goal. So you need to tell them actually sometimes that, hey, we're going to be flexible and have a crash sprint planning to absorb prioritized work, but we also want to be mindful of sprint disruption. I talk about intentionality because you have to tell them. You have to tell them that, hey, if you keep bringing work into the sprint, and it derails us. We may not be able to meet the committed sprint goals again because our minds are blown out into many places. We may not have the ability to come together and deliver work again. So just make sure you have those kind of conversations with your stakeholders as well. Mind you, it is also not what you say, but how you say it.